was near dead last. But we're the democracy. Cuba's a regime. The language and vocabulary of the empire.
Medium-range nuclear missiles that couldn't reach America, but they could if they were positioned, say, on an exotic Caribbean island off the coast of Florida. Hey, I'm a communist who hates America. You're a communist who hates America. You know what that means? We should fall in love. I was just going to suggest you set your missiles up in Cuba. Oh, no, you're right. That's a better idea. Be still, my beating heart. On October.
This is a great example of the great man of history fallacy and why Americans are anti-intellectual, to say it a nice way, or why the American masses are kind of dumb when it comes to politics and what our country does around the world. This is why the great man of history fallacy. There's a big reason why. Fidel Castro met Khrushchev, and they both said, we hate America so much we should be friends and team up to destroy America. Forget the fact that America just invaded Cuba, and Cuba has never, ever attacked or even floated the idea of attacking America in their history. They're the aggressors for defending their country against the exiles who the U.S. trained up and invaded their country with. And then Cuba forged ties with the Soviet Union because Cuba was being run by Fidel by himself, just the one guy. Che was there a little bit, but it was mostly just dictator Fidel and his regime. And then the Soviet Union, this country of millions and millions and millions of people, this giant country, was being run by Khrushchev himself somehow. And then they found time in between running their entire country by themselves, running their regime by themselves, to meet up. They went for coffee, and they said, you hate America, right? Khrushchev asked Fidel. Fidel said, yeah, I hate America. They just invaded my country. And then they said, let's team up to destroy them. That's what happened. No, America put Cuba, after they failed to invade Cuba in the Bay of Pigs, they put Cuba under the most stringent economic sanction regime in history, tied with the embargo or the sanctions that the U.S. has kept on the DPRK since killing 20% of their population in the Korean War. The embargo against Cuba and the embargo against the DPRK are most stringent of any sanctions or embargoes anywhere in the world. So the U.S. surrounded Cuba with their navy and their military, and they said, you cannot trade with anyone else in the world. You cannot trade. If you try and trade, we're going to intercept it with our military and navy. We're going to say you're, defying sanctions, and then we, have right to attack you or whatever. So Cuba has had to construct socialism, and they've, massively decreased illiteracy, malnutrition, given their people universal health care, brought health care and health facilities to rural areas that never before had them in the past. They've done this while being under this horrible economic embargo. But the Soviet Union, a socialist country, said, we don't care about the US's embargo. We're going to ally with Cuba and we'll buy sugar from them. And the USSR bought way more sugar from Cuba than what they really needed, because Cuba for years had been